but I guess everybody knows me as a content producer and an event producer. So I started my platform in 2017 with just an idea, right? I had an idea, I knew what I wanted to do. So I think the very first thing I did was just I used everybody around me, which was my friends, my resources, the people that I knew, because you have to start somewhere. So I just called up some of the homies. I knew I needed a space. I knew I needed some people to come talk at this space. So I just used the people around me. It wasn't really uncomfortable because I felt like it was just coming together, right? I just feel like it was just coming together the way it needed to. And there was no like space for it. So what I was doing at the time was just kind of new. I mean, the very first event I put together had like over 200 people. It was free, you know, so people just needed somewhere to come to have an outlet to, you know, like learn from industry professionals on how to break into the music and entertainment and media space. So it was just easy, and then everything just started coming together after that. So that's how I knew my timing was right, you know, because everything just kind of started falling into place. And so, you know, moving forward, of course, there's a lot of, as you elevate, there's a lot of things that happen, you know, during that elevation process, but I just didn't quit, right? I just didn't quit. I kept going, right? I utilize all my resources. I don't make any excuses. My daughter's here with me tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's past my bedtime, past her. You know, so it's like I just don't make any excuses. You know, so there's been times, of course, when I felt like I wanted to stop or quit or give up. I'll just regroup. I'll take a step back, and then I'll go back in. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I have to rest, I have to reset. I don't know where y'all get this staying up all night, because that does not work. Get your rest, drink your water, exercise, take care of yourself, eat right, because that's really how I function. You know, I have to be able to rest, I have to eat right, I have to exercise. So, yeah, I'm not going to be winded. I'll pass the mic now.
Crowd love for Khrissy, y'all.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Really, like, relationships. That's what I start with. Like wherever I lack, I know that there's somebody else that has the skill that I lack in. For example, I'm not the best businessman, business lingo, but my partner right there, Whitney, is. She picks up the slack in that area. And then, like, to Jay Brock's point, the phone. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people just having conversations like overthink, like big production, you know, fancy equipment. But all you really need is just passion, a purpose, and be resourceful, because you don't know what the next person is willing to do around you if you just ask. So just open up your mouth. So relationships and purpose.
Clap it up for Bobby, y'all. Let's go, Khrissy.
Hi, everybody. If you don't know, I'm a DJ. It's in my name, So to Jay Brock's point, it's literally no excuses. He started with a phone. I didn't think women could be DJs when I first started. So I graduated from San Diego State with a costume design degree. Nothing to do with what I'm doing now. I mean, kind of. I went to a lot of parties. If you all know, SDSU is a mad party school. And I was looking at the DJs like my life is being changed. Like these parties, I'm like, damn, I'm really going up. They really doing that shit. So when I graduated, it was a guy that was into me. He was a DJ. I didn't like him, but I used him for his equipment. So you feel me? So he went to Cal Poly Pomona. They didn't have no elevator. So like for me to put my work in to get free lessons, I had to carry them big ass speakers, the big ass equipment up the stairs. I had to learn it that way, right? I still didn't have my own shit though. So I ended up meeting a few people, relationships. And I called the homie Charlie Cinco, was like, hey, you got an extra turntable or something? He sold it to me for $300. I had a big ass iMac computer, like that one right there you got. I had that. You feel me? I had a fucking mouse and a keyboard, and I was carrying that shit with me to all my gigs. So fuck just the laptop that I'm doing now. I had all type of shit with me by myself. So there's no excuse. Even as a woman, I was doing that shit by myself. You see how small I am? You can't see how small my arms are, but like I'm small, but I was still getting it. You feel me? So there's no excuse. I figured it out when I didn't have it, figured out how to get it, and now I'm still doing it. So that's what it is.
Yes, sir. Speak up for Khrissy.
How y'all doing?
What up, Dreebo?
What up?
Yeah, so if y'all don't know, I'm Dreebo. My start kind of started with interest for me, right? I've always, growing up, I was an athlete, so for my whole life I was an athlete. But I always consumed music, you know, because of my sports background, you know, pre-games, road trips, et cetera, et cetera. So I was super interested in music. And then one day, you know, I said, I'm gonna make a song, you know? I was chilling with my homies, whatever. He like, let's make a song. We hop on GarageBand, and then it was just an interest. I made one song, I'm like, okay, I enjoyed that. So I continued to follow that interest, and the interest led to a passion. And then one day, you know, maybe like a year later, I looked up and I'm like, damn, I love this the way I love football. Mm-hmm. And you know, music became a point of something where that replaced my love that I had for football once I wasn't playing football anymore. So like, really where I am today all started from interest. And I had an interest in something, I followed that interest, and I put in the work behind that interest to be where I'm at right now.
Clap it up for Dreebo, y'all. Let's go, bro.
What was the question again?
The question is, where did it all start?
I remember. I didn't know if y'all remember. But yeah, for me, I've always just been kind of an oddball. Like, I've been a straight up square, up and down, 10th Avenue, 54th grade, but I was always like, I'm too funny to really gang. Like, I don't mind fighting, but I don't know about the rest of it.
I feel you.
Let's go. I was like the one kid, like Brock said, like I'm over here, like, yeah, I watch Pokemon, you know, my mom's saying Harry Potter the Devil. I read the DVDs to the library, you know, all that stuff. Back when, like, only anime dudes wore, like, the silk shirts from Swappy. I didn't wear the silk shirt, though. I had the platinum food. But yeah, man, I always just had a deep love for just being me, and I liked how the relationships I was able to create were just stronger because of that. I actually got started on Android, you know, my bad, shout out to Green Tech, so I'm not with y'all no more. But, I would do skits here and there, just on some whatever stuff, but I never wanted to commit to the process. Like, I'd drop something, it'll pop, and I'd be like, shit, this gonna pay the rent. Like, I ain't gotta make no video until this hit 3 million, you know what I'm saying? So I would drop something, get mad that, it didn't take me into the Grammys, and I was like, man, forget all this. So finally, 2020, I kind of just said, let me just commit to throwing something at the wall. And that's why I would implore everybody to know your audience. Know who you are, how you want to talk to people. When I thought about it, I was like, okay, most of the people that, I connect with on social media is from LA, people I met in college, that's from LA. So it was all like, okay, well, let me do something about me in LA. And, LA ended up being an audience that started everything for me, bro. Like, first really big viral video with all LA, everything rose from that. And then I just kind of started peeling into different aspects of my personality. It's like, yeah, I'm from LA. I'm gonna tell you what it's like to be a square in LA, not gangbanging, and just kind of offer that perspective. Like, yeah, I'm not super cuz or super whoop. Like,
So wait a minute, I have to say this. So Rome used to make videos where he would press himself and then turn invisible and speak as the ghost him. Facts. Yeah, facts. That shit is funny. Y'all gotta see that.
And really the whole thing behind that is like, it's a lot of people who are not punks, ready to fade, that's 6 feet under right now. At the end of the day, there's really no cool points for being the toughest dude on the playground after middle school. Like, if you win a fight in a parking lot, you're not finna get online and be like, I'm 35 years old and I just worked this man.
On God.
There's no cool point.
Man.
You get shot, you either dead in the hospital, you just like, bro, I had the rest of the stuff to do. Right. So it's about just taking that second and being like, bro, am I too cool to live? Like, is this really worth my life? And, just navigating with, the traumas we go through as a people, black, brown, red, and yellow in the hood. Like, yeah, it sounds easy to just come off and be like, I'm gonna fade anybody that come up to me. It's all like, we gotta start looking at ourselves as people. Like, okay, yeah, he might be tripping right now, but I'm cool and calm enough to de-escalate this and probably talk to this person on a human level. Like, you know, you get bumped at the club, it don't gotta be like, hey, what's happening? It can just be, hey, my bad, bro. Like, that little thing right there diffuse something and get you home that same day so you can see your daughter, see your family. And, you know, being able to express that through comedy as well as like just racism. I do a lot of stuff that deals with racism in a satirical way because I feel like people only listen to the problems of racism when it's put in the form of comedy. Like, I can't get the world to admit racism affects us every single day. But if I do it in a comedic skit, all of a sudden that light comes on and we can say, okay, you know what, you got me. All right, maybe the claim was real. Oh, okay, all right. So, yeah, you know, it's, that's kind of the reality of it. And yeah, every day I'm just looking to be myself on camera and make sure, like, you know, the camera's not eating me up, so on and so forth.
That's right. Okay, clap it up for my boy Ron. All right, so today.